And welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. It's about to get mad. It's about to get mad. Now you guys know I'm always like to bring you some new fresh news, but this one I've been following for a little while. I didn't want to do any kind of video before it's time, but the information is getting deep and it's getting quick, baby. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads, baby. And if you know, get yourself the minerals, baby. Get yourself a little hoodie. All right, listen, boom. My God, it's getting hot, it's getting hot, it's getting hot. It says here, Epstein floodgates open as judge rules explosive docs detailing Ghislaine Maxwell's sex life can be unsealed in Virginia Giuffre's defamation case within a week. Now, I want you to understand the gravity of what's happening here, bruv. If they're going to open up the docs, of her sex life, this is going to expose every single person that is involved with her, bro. Listen, we're talking about celebrities. We're talking about all the people that you thought were your best friend, who was your role model. All of them could be exposed if these docs get out. Now, you've already been hearing in the last few days, obviously, the fact that some people have already died. A judge, or judge's son that died or whatever. I think there was someone else also that was linked to the case also died as well. I think a lawyer maybe. So people are dying. This is not a plaything now. Let's get it real, yeah? When you're dealing with the corridors of power, when you're dealing with the works of Satan, I'm going to call it as it is, when you're dealing with demonic entities, okay, that control narratives, okay, the Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickednesses and high places, principalities and powers. There are things that are unseen that are seen. You understand? So if they open up these docs, whoo, baby, let's read the story though. Judge Loretta Prescott in Manhattan ruled on Thursday to unseal more than 80 documents that Ghislaine Maxwell had wanted to keep under wraps. Prescott said the documents, which will be run to hundreds of pages, should be made public within a week. They include flight logs from Epstein's jets, a deposition in 2016 in which Maxwell's lawyers said she was asked intrusive questions about her sex life. The documents also include police reports from Palm Beach, Florida, where Epstein had a home. It will include communications between Maxwell and Epstein from January 2015, when Virginia Roberts Giuffre made allegations about them in court papers. In the papers, Giuffre claimed she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew. Oh my God. It is long, blood. It is long. Queen Elizabeth, come and get your boy. Because, fam, everybody's going to go down. Or people are going to die in their masses, because for this to come out, and this is why I keep telling you guys, well, like, this is not just about Epstein. This is not just about Maxwell. This is not just about Prince Andrew. This is about pedophilia rings. And if this gets out, there is a whole, I told you, 2020 is the year of exposure. Yeah, that God is just unwrapping things, blood, yeah? And that justice is coming with a sweeping baton, yeah? But if these people who are attached to this are exposed, what the next step is to do is to try and save their ass. Now, how do you save them? By making pedophilia no longer illegal. By making pedophilia a sexual orientation. Yeah. That's how you start to change things and make it non-illegal and say, well, if this many people that were celebrity like children, surely there can't be something wrong with it. That's how it starts. So yeah, in the papers, Giuffre has claimed she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew 3 times when she was just 17 at Epstein's command. The documents were part of a defamation lawsuit brought by Giuffre against Maxwell, which was confidentially settled in 2017. The case is separate from the criminal proceedings against Maxwell, who is accused of procuring girls as young as 14 for Epstein's abuse. So now, obviously, like I said, the judge today has ordered the unsealing of a vast tranche of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, which could shed light on his friendships with powerful men accused of having sex with the victims. Judge Loretta Prescott said that 80 documents, which will run for hundreds of pages, should be made public within a week. The documents will include depositions from Ghislaine Maxwell, which could explain her alleged role in Epstein's sex trafficking operation. They could include details about Maxwell's sex life that her lawyers have previously tried to stop from being released, relating to the 7-hour, 418-page deposition Maxwell gave, which her legal team said was extremely personal, confidential. In filings, Maxwell's lawyers have called the depositions a series of efforts to compel Maxwell to answer intrusive questions about her sex life. The documents also include communications between Maxwell and Epstein from January 2015, when Virginia Roberts made explosive allegations about them in court papers. In the papers, Roberts claimed she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew 3 times when she was just 17 at Epstein's command. The case is separate from the criminal proceedings against Maxwell, 58, who is accused by federal prosecutors of procuring girls as young as 14 for Epstein to abuse. She has pleaded not guilty, is due to stand trial next year. Whew. My God. The case ruled on Thursday was originally brought by Roberts, now 36-year-old mother of 3 who lives in Australia and goes by her married name, Virginia Giuffre. She sued Maxwell in 2015 for defamation because Maxwell accused her of lying. Roberts said in court filings that Maxwell recruited her and other girls into sex trafficking ring for politically connected and financially powerful people. Now, again, I want to focus on this point. This is where the contention is. If they're politically powerful people, okay, this is where the trouble is. This is where people start dying. This is where people start disappearing. This is where people start going quiet, because suddenly the forces of darkness, okay, those who work behind the shadows, start pulling strings. And it's funny because obviously, you know, Maxwell, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm surprised Maxwell hasn't been dropped off yet. I'm surprised she hasn't been sent to heaven early, because like these things, whenever they get out, like, you know, they do damage control. The people who work behind the scenes, they do damage control. So I'm surprised that she hasn't been taken out of the game. And so, yeah, the case was set in 2017 for undisclosed sum, but media organizations sued for documents in the case to be made public. During the hearing at Manhattan's federal court, Judge Prescott said Maxwell's right to privacy was outweighed by the need for the documents to become public. She went through the dozens of documents, which included Godfrey's depositions and various dull-sounding legal papers. The contents, however, could be explosive and may contain fresh evidence against a wealthy elite who socialized with Epstein. After the ruling, Maxwell's lawyer, Laura Menninger, asked for a 2-week holiday in the unsealing so they could file an appeal in the Second Circuit in New York. Menninger said there have been some significant changes with respect to my client's positions, and perhaps known to everyone listening to this, while we were speaking about a potential ongoing criminal investigation since the time Mr. Maxwell has been indicted and the trial has been scheduled. Wow. Now we're very vastly different position, have grave concerns about our client's ability to receive a fair trial, given intense media scrutiny around anything that is unsealed. Godfrey's lawyer, Sidrid McCauley, said she wanted the documents made public as swiftly as possible. Woo, my God. I'm telling you guys, listen. It's a mad thing. Look at this picture, listen. You want to deny that these things are happening? Look at this. Look at this picture. You understand? Look at this picture. It's right there. You understand? Like, we are literally fighting. And I said to you guys, like, you have to pay attention to the media world, because they are often telling us what's coming. They often tell us what's happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. That these things are going to keep on being exposed, because where we're going, the world has to get colder. The Bible says that as great as sin abounds, so does grace. And the Bible tells us we're going back to the days of Lot and to the days of Sodom and to the days of Noah, where in those times men's hearts were so wicked that God in the Noah situation, he wanted to destroy the earth and its inhabitants, but he found grace in Noah. And then obviously the same thing happened with Sodom, but on this occasion he got Lot out of the place and destroyed Sodom. Do you get me? So what's interesting is that we are seeing a return to those days where people are doing sick things and they're going to get exposed. No longer the powers of corridor can hide these things from happening. Yep. It's a bit of a mad one still. Someone says the documents include an unpublished manuscript of a memoir from Epstein's accuser, Virginia Roberts, which detailed her years of abuse by him. Hey, that comes out. My God. There were depositions from Epstein's pilots, his former associates, flight logs showing him traveling the globe with his victims, and famous people such as Bill Clinton. Among those who have taken an interest in the defamation case are lawyers for the John Doe, who appears to be somebody who will be featured in documents. His identity is unclear, but the powerful men who have been accused of involvement with Epstein, including Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Oh my God. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? Like, blood, that's why I said to you, listen, the whole world, okay, the whole world, this is that when Epstein was saying that he had power, someone is an Israeli prime minister is linked potentially with Epstein. What does that even mean? How does that even happen? You know what I'm saying? And that should let you know that the world that we live in, when you see people are in power, do not get gassed by them. This is why the Bible says we should pray for our leaders, those who are authorities, because the men that are in power are subdued to the powers that run this world. The Bible says Satan is the God of this world, and they're talking about the systems of this world. Satan owns it all, okay? The system of money, Satan runs it. You understand? The system of power, Satan runs it. So everything that we're seeing, Satan is running it in that sense, where we have a structure of how life should be working, right? It's working, sorry. Not how it should be working. And so all these major players, man, I mean, if they get exposed, there's a whole lot of mess coming. Whole lot of mess. Oh, man, I don't even know what to say. You know, there's so much here that is, that's written. Oh my God. So say, look, although Miss Maxwell is presumed innocent, the government, its agents, witnesses, and their lawyers have made and continue to make statements prejudicial to the fair trial. A defendant must be judged by a jury of her peers based on evidence presented at a trial, not in the media. And I get that, B, but it's in the public interest, but we need to know some of the stuff that's been going on, bruv. You understand? Oh my days. I mean, you can read it in your own time. You can spend time reading it, But as you are saying, there are so many things that are coming out all of a sudden. The death of Epstein didn't solve anything. And it reminds me of Jesus. When Satan and his cronies thought they could kill Jesus, that would solve their problem. Actually, what it did, it actually magnified their problem. Because had they had the wisdom, the Bible says, had they had wisdom, they would not have killed Jesus. Because if they had known that by killing Jesus, it would release, and Jesus Christ resurrecting and releasing us to be born again, to have dominion over sin, they wouldn't have done it. Do you get it? They wouldn't have done it. And this is the same thing here. If they had known that killing Epstein would cause more trouble than it would birth solutions, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done it. They would have let him do what he needs to do. Do you understand? But hey, by the grace of God, he moves in different directions, guys. I hope you like what we do. Like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Stay locked in for more.